Sweet Home. Based on a movie of the same name and released by Capcom in 1989 for the Famicom in Japan, this game is known for being the inspiration for what would become the Resident Evil franchise and for including many of the game mechanics and characteristics that would become traditional in the survival horror genre. This game sure had a lot of influence in future video games. Let's see how well it does for itself. You basically follow 5 documentary filmmakers trying to recover some paintings from the abandoned mansion of a famous painter who mysteriously disappeared. Of course, as soon as they get in, they are trapped by a ghost and must now look for a way to escape while solving the mysteries of the mansion. The story itself is told through some cutscenes and a lot of diary entries that you find around the place, which is really immersive and keeps things interesting. I have to say that for a game this old, the story is really well done and well told. From what I know, it even adds things that were not in the original movie, so a lot of people consider it a better option than this one. If anything, the only thing I could complain about is that the playable characters themselves don't receive much attention, but this pales out in comparison to how well the story and setting are developed. As one can expect, the graphics won't surprise anyone these days, but for an NES game, they are really well done, colorful and clear. The environments are pretty varied considering all the adventure happens in a mansion, and the 8-bit graphics surprisingly manage to evoke the horror of the different locations and monsters pretty well. The music is pretty good and catchy, but a bit repetitive, and the sound effects in general are okay. The game takes place in a big mansion full of connections and secret passages between the different areas, and with a lot of puzzles that will make its connection with the Resident Evil series obvious. You know, taking items from location to location while trying to manage your limited inventory slots. You take control of the 5 main characters, each of whom has a special tool that can be used to do different things around the mansion. You can divide the characters in different groups as you see fit, and when one team enters in combat, there is an option to call the other team to join you. You actually switch control to the other team and have a set time to move to where the other one is fighting to join. Combat is classic turn-based with a first-person view, with the twist that if a character dies, then it dies for good. This, plus the quick-time events that happen sometimes and can kill your characters, adds to the tension and keeps you on your toes. Don't worry though, the game is not particularly difficult as long as you are careful, and even if a character dies, you can find his or her tool to continue advancing. There are 5 different endings depending on how many characters are alive at the end though, so that's an extra motivation not to die. The game is not that long, but it can take up to like 10 hours depending on how much you tend to get lost. Some parts are a bit confusing, but in general it's not as cryptic as other NES RPGs. In my opinion, one of the best if not the best RPG for the NES. Everything from the level design to the art direction is well done, and the horror setting is a plus since it's something uncommon in RPGs. Something easy to recommend to RPG lovers even in our days. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. You can expect more reviews on RPGs in the future.